Welcome to Dying to Know, where we open up about everything that comes with losing a loved one.
Because the only thing that's worse than death is not being able to talk about it.
We're your Bereavement Babes, Leah and Rachel, and today we're getting into strange things of death.
I don't know if it's going to be creepy.
I don't think it's gonna be
different.
Yeah, like not like creepy spooky like
Yeah.
the last season. Well, no, it wasn't really spooky, right? That was more like disappearances and murders.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was horrific, I
But
guess.
just like weird happenings when it comes to like death and people's like stories, I guess. I'm excited to see what
I
you
know.
have to
I think
say.
we're on very different pages.
I really think we are, and I can't wait to see it. I mean, I can't wait to hear what you have to say.
All right. Well, what I actually brought facts for you.
I like facts too.
Yeah,
it's a story though.
Okay.
It's a good one.
It's a new thing for me. I'm not good with my facts. I think we've all learned that through the past season.
No, we have not.
Really?
I feel like you've been good. What facts do you feel like you were lacking?
When's the last time you heard me give a fact?
You'd read a children's book.
I guess.
Yeah, like that's a source.
Yeah, but I literally found it like whatever. It's a source, but
Okay.
you're the one who'll be all up in the internet. And
yeah,
I do not have time to surf the internet. I was like, I'll buy a book, but yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yes.
what I did, I guess, because I was like freaky. In my mind, this was like weird ways to die.
Oh, okay.
So what I did is I Googled the most common ways to die and then the most uncommon ways to die.
Really? Okay. What's the most common?
So the most common ways are, of course, heart disease was number 1.
Oh,
then
okay.
cancer, COVID-19 was number 3. And this is according to thehealthline.com.
Okay.
Then what I actually thought was interesting is accidents were in there, which I feel like,
That's so broad.
yeah, but I
Yeah.
feel like it falls into the category we're talking about. So it's
Yeah.
almost like, okay, the freaky ways are on the list.
Okay.
But then they have their separate one. And then it was stroke, Alzheimer's, and diabetes. Oh, and chronic lower respiratory disease was one of them.
That's like top, what, you gave like 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
6, 10 maybe.
All
Top
right.
10. And that was like the most common ways. Which, because heart disease was for both of us.
I was about to
or
say,
both
yeah.
our dads.
Uh-huh.
So yeah.
Usually they say it's women, though, who get heart disease. Like,
I think this is just like overall
Oh,
the
okay,
most
okay.
common,
But just in
men
general,
and women, yeah.
I've heard that women, because they have that like red dress fashion show,
yeah,
which is to bring awareness to heart disease.
Yes.
And I was like, oh,
no,
women are the
when
number
looking and
one.
like clicking on other links, like it did say between men and women, the most common is heart disease.
Heart disease. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So then now the most uncommon.
I'm ready.
Oh man, I feel like I forgot what this one meant already.
Oh. You can't read your handwriting, or?
It was differentiation. You want to know what? We're gonna skip that one. It's a big word. But we're going in the order of like, I guess it's going down from like 9 that I guess could be common to like the least common.
Okay.
One is death by tortoise.
By like a turtle?
Yes.
How do you die by turtles?
So the way you
Oh,
die,
like a snapping turtle?
no, the way you die by a turtle is there was a man from like the like old and like Roman Empire times. I forgot what his name was, and he had a premonition, or someone told him like you're gonna die by a falling object. So for the rest of his life, he tried to stay as safe as possible and like just sit in his little area and like do his work. I forgot like if he was a philosopher or something. Not a famous. Well, I don't know. Let me not say he wasn't famous. But what happened was he, like a tortoise fell on his head from the sky. So he ended up dying by a falling object, and it was a tortoise. And what they think it was, they think a hawk might have had one and thought his bald head was a rock and was trying to open up the tortoise shell.
Are you serious?
Yes. I shouldn't be laughing. But yes.
Yeah, I mean, rest in
So
peace.
yeah.
Where was he living where a tortoise would fall off of something?
No, I don't, yeah.
Okay. That's just, okay. Interesting. What's
So
next?
then self-deprecation or desiccation?
Like pooping on yourself?
No, this is accidentally chopping off your own head.
Okay.
A tennis ball to the groin.
Can kill you.
Yeah, so there's a story where I guess there was a referee or a coach like doing a tennis game, like sitting on the side, and it was a kid's game, and the kid hit the ball so hard it hit him straight in his groin, and then he fell over and hit his head and died. Yeah. Crushed by a cactus is another one.
Well, we met the largest cactus in Arizona,
Yes.
so I can believe it.
Strangled by an automobile.
Strangle?
Yeah.
Oh, by your seatbelt?
I guess I forgot. I didn't read that one fully.
Okay.
A pharaoh's curse. So this one, I believe he was a tomb explorer, and I think opened up something he shouldn't have, and ended up, so it was dying under a pharaoh's curse.
Okay.
Crushed by a coffin.
Wow. Did they work in a funeral home?
No, these were like older. I think they were working in a hearse. And yeah. Died by laughing.
You can really laugh to death?
Apparently. Wow. And then tripping on your own beard is the least common way to die.
Who could trip? Like, why would your beard be
this
that long?
This man had this, like, crazy long beard, tripped over his own beard, and died.
Right now, I'm picturing, you've seen The Little Rascals, right?
Yes.
When they came into the bank and...
It's kind of what the picture looked like from the website.
What?
Yeah, so that is the absolute least common way you can die.
Wow, but you can die.
Yeah,
From laughing to death and tripping over your own beard.
Yeah, so that's where my brain went for he deaths.
I think that, like, makes sense. Yeah. I feel like when we spoke about this topic, that I thought about when we went to New Orleans and then we did the graveyard tour because I wanted to do some spooky stuff. And then we knocked on Marie Laveau's grave, which you swear started the pandemic. Yes. And then we learned that, like, Nicolas Cage has, like, a plot in that particular cemetery. So I think my freaky is still with yours, but it's more like, I don't know, whatever. Let me just jump into it. So I listened to a podcast that I've mentioned on here before, but I just want to shout them out again. It's called Strange and Unexplained by Daisy Egan. Yeah. So she just always presents these, like, weird, strange scenario type of things. So one episode she had was about Disney World. And so the first, like, freaky or weird thing, because we know Disney is the happiest place on earth, that's what they claim, is that Walt Disney is frozen in a cryogenic chamber.
Yes, I've heard
and that
this.
he wants to be unfrozen. I mean, well, defrosted, I guess, and like come back to life. He's waiting on the technology, which technically I think is a rumor, allegedly. I did see where he was buried. He was cremated. They said it was a small service, that it was just his wife, his kids, and their husbands and their children, I think. Because he died in, 1966. And it was from cancer. Oh. But I don't know. I just love that, like, rumor that, like, Walt Disney is frozen.
I know. My dad actually always said he wanted to, like, look into it. Because he's like, I would want to come back. I'm like, you would want to come back? Like,
but you can't be defrosted. Like, your organs have stopped since 1966.
I mean, I don't know. But he, like, would not, I guess, like, joke or say. He was like, if I could do it and, like, be able to, like, he's like, who knows if they invent technology that can bring you back? He's like, I would do it. And I was like, okay.
No, that's true. I did, like, read a little bit. I mean, that's not where I want to go with this. But, like, anyway, just about Walt Disney. They said, like, a reporter back in the day had snuck in a hospital and claimed that he saw him in a chamber. And then that, like, rumor just kept, like, running for years and years and years. So that's where it came from. But wherever he is, I don't know if the technology will ever start. But anyway, so in that episode, there is a clause, I guess, in, like, Disney's contract, if you work for them, that state no one can die at Disney World or Disneyland.
Oh my God.
And the book that she got this information from was Inside the Mouse, Work and Play at Disney, and it's by The Project on Disney. So I think it's a collective group of people who contributed to this. So they said this, like, contract at work states that no one can be declared dead on Disney property. That paramedics are supposed to give life-saving measures on the property until they can, like, escort someone off to declare them dead.
Oh my God.
But then we know that, like,
but there's been deaths.
Of course, because
doesn't they have some creepy river or something that a girl died in?
Yes. Okay, so I don't have all of the deaths at Disney, but I think there's been about, like, it says declared about, like, a couple dozen. And, it's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Disney, Land and World. Because I think Land opened first and then World opened up later. So I think they said the first reported one was one of a guy that was at the front of Epcot. You know that big, like,
the
spear?
golf ball thing?
I didn't know that was a golf ball. Did you know that was a golf ball?
Yeah.
But why?
I don't know. It looks like a golf ball.
Oh, okay. I never put two and two together. Whatever. When I re-listened to it, I was like, I didn't realize that was a giant golf ball.
Yeah. Is it supposed to be a golf ball?
It is.
Oh, okay,
I just didn't know that. Sorry. I just was like, did you know that fun fact? And then you said it was a golf ball. And I was like, she already knew. Anyway, someone said he shot himself in the head in front of the Epcot ball. Oh my I can't remember what year that was. In 1964, a 15-year-old named Mark Mabels took his seatbelt off and stood up on a ride, but he died 3 days later. So then technically he wasn't declared dead on the property. Okay. Then they said the biggest deaths that happened at Disneyland, specifically in California, is on grad night. So I think grad night is like
over drinking and stuff like that.
Well, you would think it was a lot of alcohol, but it wasn't a lot of alcohol induced not killings, but I guess deaths that took place. So I guess just to explain grad night, I mean, I guess most people get
Grad
it. I think they
bash,
just invite all the high school graduates that live in the California area to come to Disneyland at night, I guess, to like ride rides. So in 1966, a 19-year-old Thomas Cleveland, he was scaling the monorail and got caught, and then he was dragged for a couple feet. In 1980 on grad night, someone else was dragged. In 1983, an 18-year-old on grad night, not drag night, sorry, got drunk. And then he drowned in one of the rivers. I think what you're talking about. And then in 1981, there was a stabbing for a guy who said an 18-year-old guy touched his girlfriend. Mel Yerba was murdered, 18 years old, in 1981 by getting stabbed by someone, which is terrible. And then more like recent, I guess, or 2000-y. In 2003, Big Thunder Mountain, an axle broke.
Oh my God.
On the ride, causing the cars to collide, killing a 22-year-old Marcelo Torres.
Oh, that one sounds familiar.
That one does?
Yeah.
Okay. Because that was like more recent. I was like, oh, I should remember that one. But I never remember hearing reports of this. But I just thought, I guess when I heard like freaky or weird, I just thought that was strange because one, death is inevitable. That's the one thing that it's going to happen to all of us. We always say that. And you can't tell someone when and where they can die. Yeah. But the fact that, they have
a clause.
Yeah, they allegedly have this employee clause that, like, no one can die at Disney because it's supposed to be the happiest place on earth.
Did you actually know that the Pirates of the Caribbean, the ride, used to have real skeletons in it as decorations?
Where did they get real bodies from?
I don't know where they got real bodies from.
You think people donated their body? Like, if you donate your body to science?
Disney? I know they got in trouble. I think they did get in trouble for it. I'm assuming they did. But yeah, they had real skeletons in there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, speaking of dead people at Disney.
That's kind of freaky.
Yeah.
When you went, did you look for them?
Oh, I didn't ride it. This is something I heard on TikTok.
You went recently, though, right? Not so recent.
I did the Magic Kingdom.
Okay. Yeah. Did you know about this death situation?
No, not beforehand. Okay. And we only did the Magic Kingdom, so it was only like very happy and chill. So.
Okay. I need somebody that work at Disney to tap in. Let us know what's in these contracts, if this is real or not.
No, the Disney contracts are crazy.
I can only imagine. So with all this like freaky ways to die or strange ways to die, do you have any like concept, I guess, of like how you want to die or what you think your funeral would want to look like?
I mean, I know we said if we had our magical wish on how we would die, I said I would be frozen.
Oh, yeah, you did say you were freeze to death.
Because I heard it's supposed to be peaceful. But I go back and forth if I want to be cremated or buried all the time. But I think one thing I wanted to plan out was whether I have kids or it's like giving to my nieces and nephews, I would love for like once I pass to like leave everyone a ticket to like go somewhere.
Real? Everyone gets an experience?
Well, like the kids.
Oh, okay.
Because then I was also thinking if I am cremated, like each person could like spread my ashes in a new place. So it's also like giving them a place to travel, but also like I get to go one last place with everyone. Like, okay. I feel like that is kind of like a mindset thing that I would love to do. Yeah. But I also can't decide if I want to be cremated because I'm like, I don't know.
You just don't know.
Yeah. Like I don't know. Because I'm like, will I be with my family? Will I not be? Are you supposed to be? Like I go back and forth all the time. Yeah. But I think I would love to like leave a little gift for like, hopefully my kids. Okay. If not my kids, and the nieces and nephews, I can just not include them now.
Yeah. That is true.
But yeah, I think I would like to like leave a present for everyone to have an experience. Yeah, and be like, this was from.
Yeah, that's sweet. Yeah. Like even in your own mortality, you're thinking of everyone
like
else.
One last thing, one last trip.
That's what's up.
What about you?
I think I still want to go out peacefully. I don't know what that looks like.
In your bed,
yeah, and sleep. That would be the best way to be like in a dream. Always wonder like when people die, if they like wake up on the other side and be like, dang, I'm dead. Because you ever hear like stories about like, especially being in New York, like people subway surf and then kids fall and stuff, which is so tragic. Yeah. But I wonder if people just go like, wake up and be like, dang, I died. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I feel like I've actually been listening to Julia Fox's book on audiobooks.
Oh, yes.
And she describes it because she had an overdose, and she describes it as, like, it's all black with, like, a window with, like, light kind of coming out of it and spilling out. And, like, you kind of, like, it is a go towards the light thing. So really? I feel, what is that stage of life where you're in between? Paragon?
Oh, when you're sleep paralysis?
No, the stage between life and death. Purgatory.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So she kind of, I feel
like. Is it like the waiting room?
Yes. Like I feel like in my mind, there'd be some waiting room tunnel vibe that kind of like lets you know, not like you wake up and you're just.
But what about people who die like instantly? Like the guy who got hit in the head by a tortoise, he goes straight to a waiting room?
I think so.
Really? I don't think there is a waiting room.
The Good Place, there was a waiting room.
Oh, the show.
Yeah.
I was like, what's The Good Place?
Yeah.
That was cool for something.
Yeah. No. I would assume.
Yeah.
And I mean, you might wake up in the waiting room kind of be like, oh.
I wonder if it's like Beetlejuice.
I was just
waiting room with the tickets.
God.
Yeah.
That's so
Because people die constantly. So it's
Could you imagine if you die and you have to then do office work?
Like, well, you wouldn't get hired there. You'd be dead. You'd be the person.
I know, but like in Beetlejuice, it was the queen who like killed herself, Miss Argentina.
The beauty queen, yeah.
And she had to file paperwork for the rest of her life. Could you imagine that?
I mean, I don't know. I guess I couldn't, but it is the rest of her life.
Wow. So is Beetlejuice hell?
Maybe. He was mean.
Yeah.
So maybe that was hell. And then he came, it was weird. But anyway, they're coming back with a new Beetlejuice too.
I know.
I'm excited about that. Anyway, so I want to go peacefully.
Yes.
I think I go back and forth like you about being buried or cremated.
Yeah.
Because I want to be like, also it's new ways of dying. Not dying, but being like buried.
Clearly.
Yeah. I mean, new ways of dying. But yes, but like,
yes.
you can be like mulch. And
or
I
you can be
like
a diamond.
Yeah. You can be a diamond?
Kris Jenner is going to be a diamond.
Really? And that's our birthstone.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. And I also like clothes, so then I want to be dressed, but then I don't want to be like in the cast because you don't look like yourself sometimes, depending on how long you died. So I don't know. I really haven't put much thought into my funeral, but I do want to at least go out peacefully.
Do you know, I guess one last little freaky fact is,
yeah,
since you do have tattoos, you know you can now not auction off, but people can claim your tattoos, and now there is a place where that they'll turn your skin tattoos into artwork, then give to your family.
I remember you told me about that. Is it really like skinning me?
Yes. I feel like there's probably a better way to say it because skinning sounds crazy.
I mean, it is what it is.
But like the guy who was like super tad and he's like my wife owns my chest piece and so owns my like this piece. And like, yeah, they like, I guess dry your, because I mean like leather is like dried out skin. So they like dry it out, they frame it. But yeah, so you like your family can have that piece of you and like art.
I think that's a little too freaky for me.
Yeah.
But, I mean, good to know. Yeah. Maybe someone else out there wants someone's artwork or...
Yeah, it is artwork.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I sometimes think of my tattoos as, like, identifying factors.
Oh, yeah.
Of
course.
People like, does she have this on her wrist? And it's like, yep, then that's her.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. Well, that was a really interesting conversation about freaky deaths. A little freaky. Any other last words?
No, I was going to do it some money, but let me not.
Shout out to Tanasha.
Yeah.
Today's episode is dedicated to all the people who have died in a very mysterious, strange, and or freaky way. Again, we are your bereavement babes, Leah and Rachel, and we'll see you on the other side.